It's exactly the same body morphology. It's got this great big spade-like head, terminal mouth like Donald Duck, and then this elongate, slender body tapering away to nothing. Coffee's ready! Cheers.
Happy coffee?
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes.
So after the last episode, we've continued with our Lake Baikal obsession.
Right.
And we tracked down the precious Thom.
Precious Thom, indeed, yes.
The endemic fishes of Lake Baikal. Interlibrary loan, good old librarians on our team managed to track this one down. And I gave you a look at it, and it's come back full of notes and Post-its.
I know. I mean, listening to your last interview, your specialist researcher, she mentioned this wonderful genus, Abyssocotis.
Yeah, they've got great names.
Yeah, and I looked at this picture here, and I went, damn, if you showed me that, I would have said a chanecthid. And here we have a chanecthid.
Yep.
It's exactly the same body morphology. It's got this great big spade-like head, terminal mouth like Donald Duck, and then this elongate, slender body tapering away to nothing. And like some of the others, they quite happily chow down on.
Yeah, on
huge
things. Food items.
Yeah, anything that gets close enough to actually be swallowed gets swallowed. So digging through this great book, and I came across here pages.
There's a nice summary page, isn't there,
page
on the
130
adaptations.
and 131, and it was looking at adaptations to pelagic and demersal cotids in Lake Baikal, and I went, damn, that's notothenoid. That's notothenoid. That's also notothenoid. So we've got, and the thing that really struck was no swim bladder. Mm-hmm. None of the notothenes have swim bladders. That's one of the great synaphomorphies of that group. Poorly mineralized bones, pectoral, second dorsal and anal fin well developed, terminal mouth. In some species, very large and well developed head paws. And again, around here, body full of lipids.
Yeah, lipids for buoyancy.
For buoyancy, but also in Antarctica, probably also part of the antifreeze mechanism. So this is where you had a point of difference, because your researcher talked about the presence of these hydrothermal springs in the lake, which the lake then isn't suffering under the same sort of constraints of being about -1.5 degrees Celsius. There's obviously little islands where it's quite warm.
But they weren't too sort of high. I was surprised that they're not sort of the black smokers. It's a little bit of warming. And the ice is certainly thick enough on the surface that they're official roads. There are roads that spring up in the winter.
Yeah, ice roads.
Yeah, which is a new foreign concept to me.
Oh, well, they do that in Canada a lot, apparently. But yes, it sort of got me thinking, as all good science should, get you thinking. And so I went looking through this wonderful paper by Nia and Thacker, which has just come out on the phylogenetics of all Acanthopterygians, fossil and living. Absolutely amazing paper, 300 pages.
Oh, that's a book.
Yeah, I know, it's a book. It's wonderful. And you're sort of reading through it and you go, oh, I think I need to slow down. And the perciforms have now been sliced up. It used to be the sort of...
They were always too big.
Yeah, anti-competitive is what I would have said, So anyway, the perciforms have been sliced up quite a lot. So now you've got what used to be the scorpaeniforms now in there, and the notothenoids. But you see, they're actually kind of, if you sort of squint and tilt your head slightly, they're kind of close together. So as I was sort of sitting at home, cracking walnuts in front of the fire and thinking about this, I sort of wondered, given that you do have a bit of you can trace back reasonably close to a common ancestor, is there a kind of a genetic memory there which says in these situations, this is the morphology and the adaptation you need to survive and thrive? And might be drawing a very long bow here, but it intrigued me that there was just so many similarities. So, I mean, if we troll through this wonderful book. So, one of the Antarctic fish is a gobionotothene. And I looked at it and I thought, damn, that one looks just like a gobionotothene. Here's your favourite.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
More like a cyclolutid, but hey,
But that's get in that cluster.
Dysosticus, little Dysosticus morsani or eleganoides. And of course, obviously, the chanecthids. You got crocodile icefish. I just kept looking at them going, they just look like crocodile icefish. One of the really problematic ones down in Antarctica are the arthrodraconids, the plunderfish, barbel plunderfish. But if you stick a barbel on that, and if you were, and you wouldn't ever, got a pin out and drew a barbel on that and just showed me the picture, I'd have said, oh, that's a weird looking arthrodraconid. But down to the sort of very simple pelvic fins, just a few rays,
Just
big
to prop them
fan
up.
pectoral fin, piddly little first dorsal fin, and this one here, Cylindrico. I cannot, just at glancing at it, I cannot tell the difference between Cylindrico and that thing. And these are all cotids.
Yes.
And
one little lineage has radiated into these familiar forms from
Yes.
polar regions.
So, yeah, it's quite intriguing, and because you wouldn't sort of think down here in the unfashionable southwest corner of the Pacific that there'd be much interest in Lake Baikal. But when you start seeing things like that, you start thinking evolution treads the same path again and again and again, because what
a good idea
works.
is a good idea.
Yes, and why reinvent the wheel when this works perfectly fine, and we'll just trot it out again. With Lake Baikal, there was a taxonomist working on the amphipods, and he gave them insanely long names.
Yeah, you were saying his names were rejected.
His names have been rejected as being completely unpronounceable and absurd, but they were absolutely incredibly. They went on and on and on and on and on.
So good taxonomy just couldn't pick a concise name.
No, he couldn't have just sort of grabbed one out or named it after his mother or his wife, or it was obviously clearly hyper descriptive in Russian, but. No,
well, didn't pass
not
muster.
allowed. Keep it simple, lad. Less is more.
Lake Baikal continues to hold sway. I've been chatting with the entomologists upstairs, and that there are non-biting midges 1,000 meters deep has sparked interest. So who knows? Maybe when things settle down politically, we'll have a mass trip to Siberia.
Yes, we go diving there. Good submersible down.
Well, there's submersibles on the go out there. Cheers to Lake Baikal.
Cheers. Lake Baikal indeed. Cheers.
Grabbed all of our imaginations.
Yep.